Hey, good morning. I'll probably stream for a couple hours. What's the temperature like today? Chilly. I'm gonna do some chores. My top chore is making iced tea. Uh, the seal on my refrigerator doesn't work, and so I have a chair propped up against it. Oh, I have a sink full of dishes, and I think the dishwasher has it's clean. So I've got things to do. Now I'm a little confused because sometimes yeah, okay. The lower level is dirty, the top level is clean. I don't believe in cross contamination of like dirty dish fumes rising up, but I would do it the other way, gravity. I wouldn't have dirty on top of clean, but clean on top of dirty. I don't. That's just the order that I empty my dishwasher. So I only have very limited energy every day, and some days that energy is used to go grocery shopping. Some days it's socializing. Some days it's showering. I mean, a combination of these things, but rarely, can I just can't do everything on my task list today. Even though Halloween is over, it's still fall, and if you have never watched Over the Garden Wall, I recommend it. I think it's on Hulu. It's Cartoon Network. It used to be on Max, but Zaslav Discovery Max deleted it, like they did so many cartoons. So that made me mad. By the way, speaking of Scavenger's Reign, is something that they seem to have sold to Netflix, but it's still on Max. So in that case, that's nice. Uh, I watched it when I was house sitting on somebody's Instagram, Netflix, and it's funny that I think of them all basically the same. Uh, and the it seemed like the resolution was worse, and I guess I had heard that by some, like media criticism account. I had heard that Netflix, I don't know what you might call it, throttled the uh, streaming quality. Um, Having said that, well, I mean, I did notice because Scavenger's Reign is so beautiful. Usually, I don't notice, and like if you haven't seen the if you're watching something, I'm usually about the narrative of the experience, which is funny. My whole thing about being an abstract artist, it's it's treatment. It's like I'm in a narrative anonymous, representation anonymous, RA. I don't know. I am attempting to break or counteract or balance. That's the less extreme term. My dependence on narrative, addiction to narrative. One of an example of my addiction to narrative is like I really hate um, crawls, text crawls on news channels. I don't like text on screen unless it is rare and just necessary to a story because it distracts me completely. I mean, it just seizes up all my attention, and then I'm no longer enjoying the visual experience. So I don't like subtitles unless I have to. You know, I don't like watching popular streams like I was talking about Hassan Hiker last night, and just that's way too much stimulation for me um, to enjoy. Stresses me out. And talking in terms of what I like and don't like has nothing to do. I mean, there's nothing moral about it. It's just how I choose to spend my time. But unfortunately, it's just so common to want people to like what we like. I remember hearing that in a podcast during a time when I was working with a friend in her business, and so I like came back from lunch or whatever and talked about it, and her response was so like, "Duh, how could you not know that? Yes, we want people to we like for people to like the things we like." I don't know. It seems unnecessary to me. Maybe because I'm so accustomed to not getting that. Um, I don't think, but yeah, it creates difficulty. There are times when my boyfriend and I are together, and I just think we can't find anything to do, uh, or it's a struggle because of different tastes. But shouldn't be a moral, right or wrong judgment. Getting more and more comfortable with throwing things away, just temporarily, just because I'm preparing to move. I don't know if I'll carry it into my next life. Well, in my next life, let's be more clear. In my next phase of life, I will be more. Oh, what? I will be more cautious about. I mean, I'll try to be more cautious about what I take into my possessions, existence, surrounding, environment. Hit me, baby, one more time. I know, I could have brought you in here, or I could turn so you're looking at something better than this. Hmm. And yet, I made the choices I made, and here we are, moving on. ¿Dónde está? Hmm, something's not where it normally is. Shocking. It's my bad, I want to my baby, baby, my way that's supposed to know. So during the time I've lived here, well, not in the first few years that I lived here, no, that's not accurate either. There have been two roommates. One lived here right up, and, no, yes. In the, when I first lived here, I had, oh my God, just whatever. There have been two roommates, but it's been a while. I've been alone for a while, but there were two roommates. One was here when I moved in, and one was here shortly after. And so there are certain things, especially, I mean, I notice it in the kitchen. Maybe it's only in the kitchen. There are certain things that are like, I never bought that, but it's here. And it was either left by, one of those roommates. And I guess I could try to return them. One doesn't live in the country. The other one has a new life with a man. Probably doesn't want to take on a bunch of stuff. But she talks about coming over sometimes, so maybe if she comes over before I leave, she'll. Oh, damn it. I did something in the wrong order. One of the things I talk about is like careful word choice. It's just wrong is lazy word choice. I mean, it's shorter, easier. It comes, but I mean, what you mean is, what I mean is less effective, suboptimal, problematic, something. But wrong, implies some moral dimension to everyday behaviors. I focus on this stuff, perhaps overly so, but I focus on this stuff because I believe it creates this negative framing that affects self-esteem and ability to function. Last night, a friend came over, and talking about how, offering to help me, um, specifically said this when she saw the kitchen. And it's like there's a lot going on emotionally when someone offers to help because there's a like a strong there is kind of a moral component that's like not just like horrid, that you have a messy kitchen. I'm not saying they were judging, but like this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. And I've said it before. If you want to help someone who's, maybe ask them, maybe first search yourself, consult what you're capable of. Once you know that, offer it and let them decide. Because I'm just saying that cleaning this kitchen is in no way my top need. But that's what the person offers. Now, it may be, like I said, step one is search yourself and figure out what you're capable of. So, um, you know, that could easily be what this person feels most comfortable and capable of doing. But I'm simply talking about how an offer to help can be a burden because it's like, now I have to reset my priority. It just, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the one who just needs to get over it and realize that, yeah, I was scratching my butt. Um, I thought it was okay to do on camera because it wasn't like up in. It was just like surface. um, but again, maybe it's important to stress. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm simply attempting to describe and understand, why might I feel reluctant to submit to help? That seems, and sure, I could get over it. I should get over it, whatever. But it's still true that the help being offered is not um, easing my worries because it's not what's on my list. So if you've ever seen something, I mean, if anyone competent or whatever is watching this, or me in a future moment, maybe it's just a memo to me. If you see something and you want to help and you offer help and the person seems reluctant, maybe say, or is there another way I can help if I came for an hour or two? What would you, and you could just, I'm your puppet and you tell me, then your, what would you want? I think that's the best kind of help. Or just money. Money is always a top help. Just here, you make your choices. Or maybe I'm only describing me. Maybe other people don't feel this way. But for me, when someone offers to help and they're saying something specific, at that moment I feel like I'm having to manage their wants. They want to do a specific thing, and then I have to schedule the time and, you know, how they do it or whatever. But yeah, that's um my boyfriend got mad recently at me because of that I'm saying that I'm obsessed with control. So I'm what I'm describing, maybe it's just my problem that uh, I don't want to submit myself to help without my direction, without my approval, permission. Um, but I do think that's kind of important because I think when someone is in bad shape, they don't want to lose their agency. Or or me, I don't. I mean, maybe some people do. Maybe some people are like, let me hand it over. I mean, there was a point at which I said I wanted to walk away and let other people deal with it all. Like that, I did entertain the idea of completely removing my agency. But it didn't happen. I mean, it's sort of unrealistic. Nobody wants that full responsibility. So then at that point, you're negotiating. Um, I don't know. My boyfriend and I never fully talked it out, but I suspect it has to do with trust or respect and, feeling that maybe it's because I'm older or, I mean, that I don't allow him to make his own decisions, that I want to interfere or something. But of course, I feel the same way that like there are times when he wants to help and I think, but I want to do it. It's like the basic stuff that parents and children go through, and I guess even as an adult, we still have these basic autonomy struggles. Okay, it's warmer now, and you know, I broke a sweat in the steamy kitchen doing my biznatch. Me a sign, hit me, baby, one more time. So maybe it's a trust issue. Like, who do I trust to act like where I relinquish all control and put myself in their hands? And I guess that is nobody. So I could see my boyfriend being mad about it. I don't know. But overall, I mean, I know we share values. There's nothing, there's no noise canceling powerful enough to mask that. I took my pills. Still believe. This case seems to be missing 5 screws, but I only have 2 that I saved. I mean, I only remember removing 2. My original plan with this was to pull out the hard drive and then throw the rest of the thing away. And then I saw someone transforming a comparable machine into a working Unix, Linux machine, and we'll use this. And, then I started to feel, wow, like it has all these features in a small package. Of course, it's heavier than my MacBook Air, but my MacBook Air has also reached the end of its Apple life. And if I'm going to sort of resurrect one, this one might be better, even though it's older. So now I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to trash it. Maybe problem is both of the all my Apple laptops have dead batteries. But it's like, well, could someone? Yeah, it just comes down to what's my next computer going to be? Is it going to be a refurbished one that I already have, or something new? So I'll save these two, the two most recent, and maybe take them to some shop that knows how to save. I mean, the problem is Apple. The problem is how difficult they make self repair. The problem is planned obsolescence. Oh shit, I'm cooking. I'm boiling water for tea. Shit. Sorry. As long as I accidentally made steam, I decided to put my head above it, which is probably not good for my headphones. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. Sorry. Sorry. Ugh. I'm doing something in the next room. Sorry. I could tell you what I'm doing. I could, but these are laptop bags and cases that are too big for my MacBook Air, and I don't know how these came into my life either. But so I thought, oh well, maybe it'll fit this MacBook Pro. It This thing wedges in and still has to be diagonal, so I'm not sure about that. I just remembered I have an old shoulder bag from Gap that's very like vinyl and shook, shack, shook, shook, shook. What am I trying to say? Um, Velcro. Well, I don't know where that is right now, but it might be the right size for this. Or I can just cram it into this case logic. Something to think about later. Uh, People are coming over later. Oh boy. So, here I am. Here I am. Um, Dealing with the move and all this stuff. But on some level, you know, it's it's stuff that I've gone through or people go through regularly, which is the the tension between using stuff and and storing it neatly, um, leaving things because you're in the middle of it and people are coming over and all that stuff. Oh, the tea. I didn't want to put in the bag when it was like, mega boiling, but I do want to put it in the bag while the water's still hot. Just hurt my arm. Getting older, my skin's getting less resilient. I was going to use this salve, but I think it's really sticky. So I'm going to use it one time, and if I don't like it, I'm going to toss it. But maybe sticky's good. Yeah, but this is marketed as hand salve. I don't want sticky hands. Yeah, but if you rub it in, no, toss it. Wow, making so much progress. This is why people can't work with me. So when my boyfriend was in town, the way that I wanted to be held was just by having him be here so that I can do stuff and then take a break and have like a hug or someone, the support of someone. That's that's a kind of help that is very helpful to me. This is a decision to be made. Do I want the blue? I mean, I think it's sort of fun to switch to the black and white polka dot one. Why did I choose to, but why did I choose to use the blue one from the beginning? Oh, just because it had letters written in it. And at that time, I wanted something that was alphabetized, but right now I don't. So maybe I like the idea of making a change. These are also things I never purchased. So, one of my big problems under capitalism is that I'm uncomfortable with waste. So many, many times in my life, I've been in a situation where someone else is moving and tossing out a lot. Well, I'm doing that now with others. I'm offering so many things, and some people are saying, "Yeah, I'll take that." So I'm doing the same thing. It's just that up until now, I've been the one with a stable place, home, place to keep things. So I've been the one who's ended up with a lot of other people's stuff. Now, other people are going to end up with my stuff. And what I complain about community and capitalism and stuff, I mean, what I feel is there's just not enough. It's so disorganized instead of like, instead of a social commitment to reduce waste, make, preserve, conserve resources. Ooh, later today, I'm running low on tea. It won't be, the tea I'm making won't be cold. Later today, I'll have coffee, and that'll help me put up with visitors at sunset. Oh, I just noticed something, but I can't fix it until I have my phone. Zohran Mandami won young men 18 to 29 by 40 points. 40 points. And he did so by standing for economic justice, for trans rights, for immigrant rights, for labor rights, for Palestinian rights, and for diversity. All the corporate Democrats who say Dems can only win by running to the center or siding with Israel on Gaza or not being distracted by the trans issue should shut up and have the humility to listen. Zoran is what happens when you run for justice rather than just against Trump. That's what Kasim Rashid at Mastodon.social has to say. Someone replies, agreed, I'm excited. I've seen some really annoying commentary looking at you, New York Times, claiming that Democratic wins are a result of moving away from far left policies. That's BS. To me, it looks far more like both major parties have been captured by corporate money for many years, and the GOP by vicious authoritarians. And these wins, Democratic wins, reflect people choosing candidates who want justice and equity. I don't think a third party has any chance in the US, but an insurgent takeover of the Democratic Party by people with actual democratic ideals is seeming increasingly possible, assuming that we still have meaningful elections. Steve Hersey at tilde.zone. So the communists are coming for my stuff? Great. I've been wanting to declutter. Isn't that what I was just saying? That I wish there were a systemic way of processing stuff. And everyone I know in upper middle white, you know, income bracket will feel they have too much stuff. And they'll even say I have too much shit. And that's the other thing so my friend yesterday who offered to come and help after she made that offer and I'm mentally thinking, do I want to do this or how can I get out of this? Um and also I'm just thinking she doesn't know that I plan to be gone like tomorrow. Every day I plan to be gone tomorrow. We'll see when it happens. But um, but yeah, I'm just thinking. Uh, but also, so while I'm inside my head thinking these things, I'm sort of vaguely hearing her talk about, no, something about like I don't like going through my shit, but I can go through your shit, or I can help you go through your shit. And this is a way that people talk, and also it breaks my rules of humanism that I don't like rough talk. Um, I don't want to be helped with my shit because I don't think it's shit. I think that kind of framing is negative from the get go and makes, you know, you're going to have a bad time. It makes it painful as opposed to having a good time, discovering all the cool things that are ready for new homes. Baby, baby, how was I supposed to know? Still believe. Oh my God. Oh, sorry. Just thinking about someone who's dying. Where does this go? Probably goes to rmiddleton.art, which I'm not renewing because of who. Just not renewing it. Because of capitalism. What am I trying to do? Just keep moving. Keep moving. Breathe. AJ. I just saw a flyer invite to a building, some kind of social, and it said delicious food and wine. I, I really hate stuff like that. Like, I mean, maybe I don't. I guess if you want people to know what's available and you're going to say food and wine, there's no harm in adding an adjective, but I still hate it. It makes me doubt it, honestly. Okay, next. Still believe. Oh, I hurt myself again. Paper. My dishwasher is still running. Based on past experience, I expected it to be clean already because it it senses, it varies the length of the cycles based on what's going on inside. I'm tossing a bunch of cards that I made to some of them are my own, some of them are uh, cards I held on to that I never used, of things I was interested in, or maybe other people look at a business card again after receiving it. The temporary solution.com. Uber. I'm a fucking artist, guys. Bernie's. Me. Me. Agnes Agatha. Brittany Lowry. Food truck. These are ones of mine I will keep. Harbinger. Damon. Ones of mine I will keep. 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 Although the web addresses are wrong. Um, yeah, so there's an example of, I changed. I finally figured it out after all these years of what domains to keep forever. It took me a long time because I lost my original .com due to 212. Where's that? New York? I lost my original .com due to, oh, I just threw away a bunch of mine, didn't I? Due to just the ones I don't want. Due to putting my spouse's needs before mine, uh, and losing faith in myself, and thinking that investing in their economic future was investing in mine, and it was not, because as soon as they made money, they left me. My spouse was a real ass, and they're dead now. So, and then also he was, you know, he did his best at some things. I'm gonna go stand in the sun as like an antidote to that unpleasantness. ¿Dónde están mis gafas? Gafas. Gafas de sol. Gafas de sol. Right, these need to be cleaned. I'm considering keeping these because they're just so damn cute. Heavy metal squirrel sprinklers. Oh, silly me. I couldn't resist. So this is one of those examples of like right and wrong when it's just like, making a mistake. Why use loaded language? But anyway, I did not simply, you can sit in the sun now. So this is what they look like wet. And unfortunately, they're all pitted and stuff, which they didn't used to be, and I don't know why. Or I don't know if they could be helped in appearance, but they're old. Old, they're old squirrels, so they have aged. What I was about to say is that I got to remember to move those before my guests come over tonight. They'll kick it off the balcony, possibly, if you're not expecting anything to be there. Um, um, oh, anyway, I didn't simply wash the surface. I put water in the holes, and that's going to take longer to evaporate. And I can't think of any benefit to be gained by letting water go inside it, but I did it anyway. Just couldn't resist. So, it's just a very minor example of making a mistake while doing something on the fly. I'm making a list of things that I might take to my sisters, things that prior to now I would have. I just had a thought, like, do I want to take Planty? My sister lives a, much more stable life than I do, but she did comment the last time she was here, like, you've kept your plant alive, and that's not something I seem to be able to do or, have much success with. Now I'm just like, should I take it with me and offer to keep a plant alive inside her house? Yeah, but that's also like I need to ask her, sort of like an imposition. I'm moving in with a plant. Okay, I've done more here. So you might notice, like, what am I actually doing? I'm not cleaning completely. And what I'm doing is processing, trying to get to the point where anyone could take over and it wouldn't matter. I'm trying to get to a point where I can point to more and more and more and say all of that is ready for, well, it's like what I was talking about before. I'm getting to the point where I can turn things over to others and say, I've removed everything personal that I plan to keep, and now it's up for sale, donation, discard. You know, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, I was watching a video last night, and that's the whole story. And it was on. I mean, if I'm watching it, it's on. It was on a topic of interest to me, and yet I really disliked the the presentation, and I thought I could do a a spoof. I was just thinking of, you know, well, okay, if I were spoofing me and saying I can't watch that guy's videos, and this is why. It's this. Da 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 ba ba blah da da da. Blah, 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 da, 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 ba, ba, da, da, da. Something like that, So, but so I was watching, when I'm on YouTube watching videos, I'm getting recommendations for things that, there's nothing I see that's like what I do. I'm seeing other stuff. And I mean, I'm seeing stuff that's getting recommended, so it meets popular requirements. And so I'm watching something, and I'm like, I'm really interested in this information, but I don't like the way it's presented. So I thought, maybe maybe someday I'll just listen to a video and then make my own, you know, it's a few minutes of a spoof of it. Da 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 ba da 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 da. It's like the rhythm is so dramatic and emphasized, and but whatever they're talking about is mundane. That's you know so I share the way I am because it's like an antidote. I'm tired from doing that. If you understood what I was doing, I think, I mean, the way I would really do it, if I wanted to make a spoof, is I would watch one and then immediately record, or maybe even have it playing in my ear while I'm doing. But I don't know if people would get it. Oh, birdies, big, big birdies, eaglies, two of them. Are you two friends? Are you parents? I know nothing about eagle behaviors. And maybe you're competing. Competition or cooperation? I need to know right now. And they just. They're so close to each other, though. I feel like they're not strangers, not antagonists. Wow. They're soaring in a circular pattern, about 180 degrees separate. Wow. It's a dance. It's beautiful. I know I'm blocking your view, but you wouldn't be able to see it anyway, and I'm not bringing you over here because even if I did, you wouldn't be able to see it. They would just look like tiny iris artifacts on the lens or something, just tiny flecks in a hazy sky. Well, I was going to sit out there with you, and then ADHD took over, and I started doing other things. So, I'm going to take a break, and I just had a weird thought concerning all the business cards that I've thrown away this morning, which was, what if I had sent some sort of fun message to each of them? Uh, it's a cute idea, but I don't know. I rather than dismissing it immediately, I think it's something to think about. What would I say and why? How would I feel? I'd feel good, I think, if somebody contacted me and said, I'm making a major change in my life and I found this, your business card. I probably picked it up in, to the best of my recollection, I picked it up in this setting, in this situation, and because I was moved by your work, um, whatever. How are you coping with the world? Okay, I'm gonna move because I put some of the business cards, or a bunch of them, into the tea box instead of the whole loose recycling can. So I think I'll probably not do that, but think about it for a little while. I could discuss the pros and cons. Con, giving myself extra work, uh, basically sending out junk mail. People probably don't want it. Pro, maybe they do. Pro, giving a purpose to the collection of business cards in the first place. Oh, the Eagles have landed. No, they're not in my visual field anymore. So I missed them. Or I saw them when I saw them. I have a question. So I'm standing up. out here, and once again, I'm picking up radio signals. Does that mean that someone nearby is listening to that station, or am I just close enough to the wavelength that these headphones are acting as a radio receiver, even though that's not a built-in function of them, which could be, increase the usability. The radio is just too retro, old school, not appified enough, to be a feature of my phone or of these headphones. And yet, radio is um, real, dynamic. That's not the word I really want. Um, I mean, it is dynamic, but that's not what I want to say. What I want to say is it's robust enough that that I'm hearing it in these things not designed for it. Radio is a robust technology. I think I was just thinking last night, if I lived, because there's different pieces of equipment I may or may not take with me. And I was just thinking, I can be more specific. I have two or three options for playing iPods if I want to. I have one iPod that I still know where it is. And and I have two or three players that sync up with the iPod. And, those are it's definitely something that originally I would have thought, well, this is garbage or giveaway for some retro tech person to enjoy. But then I started thinking, I'm a retro tech person. And would I enjoy having this as a way of listening to music? So one of them is a CD player and iPod holder, and I think radio, stereo. So that would be the most versatile. It's also the biggest. And then the others are just iPod little stands. I mean, it's more normal for me to not stream. I don't stream music. I am a weirdo in that sense that I have music on my iPhone from the same music that's on the iPod or and more, because it's still updated. But I've got, 20 years of MP3s and whatnot and burned CDs and 8C. Hmm. What was I talking about? Radios, iPods. Um, wonder where those are going. They're big pipes. I don't know much about the inner workings of this building, but other than the fact that I know mine needs to be repaired. What's this other work truck? I can't read it. Construction, ink, something ink. If I were making a home in, I mean, or why wouldn't I just buy a radio in Mexico? But if I were making a home in Mexico and taking various bulky things, I could drive or I could take several trips. Uh, every time I went, have different things in my suitcase. I in a thread about real life things going on in the real world, I included a reference to my in a text group discussing things happening in reality. I included a reference to my made up universe, planet, and my friend said that's a great idea, whatever. And that surprised me because they're extremely pragmatic. So I would have expected him to say, to poke holes in why it wouldn't work. So, oh gosh, I almost just fell on my face. So, that felt good. That was exciting. I like when my ideas are liked. Well, you're no longer in direct sunlight, so I'm going to move you to reduce the danger of a visitor kicking you off. Oh, you're having a little meeting now. Froggy and Squirrely 1 and 2. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm telling on myself here. This is an unopened Christmas card, but not from last Christmas, the year before, 2023. I guess I have mixed feelings about impersonal personal communication. And yet that's what I'm offering others. No, I'm offering very personal. Hmm. I offer very personal communication, but not directed. This is directed info. So it's like they had to think of me to put the envelope together. What a terrible photo. I think your printer failed you, or it's faded in 2 years. Cute family. Oh, 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 oh. Maybe I should keep that. Just why am I keeping it? As a reminder to get in touch. I know it's weird because I don't know. There's just something about me. Like I cannot. I'm like the opposite of that. So that is like they have to think of their recipients to put them on a list and send it. But how much thinking is done, I don't know. But as opposed to me, I don't think of my recipients at all. in part because I don't want to force this level of, I mean, I think of heavy sharing as a gift and a burden. And I just think, well, I only want it to be found by those who might get something out of it. And which is why I always say that my, audience is not my department. Like that's up to others to decide, the individuals themselves. Um, and I think about my art that way, and I think, but the way of the world is the opposite, where like, you know, so people who know me personally want to be involved and comment or see or whatever. But back when I was on the meta platforms, Facebook and Instagram, and so I'm like in a way denying community, but I'm denying community that's based on proximity because I want to make community that's based on shared ideas. I don't know. Snarf. I think I face a challenge as to whether I can and mix the two kinds of community. If I move to Mexico, I'm not going to be capable of having very intelligent conversations because of my language limits. And at the same time, I don't want to be a hermit like I am here. I'm moving there because I want to experience a joyful, street life, learn from them and their culture. Hmm. And like I said, it's a, it's a bit of a burden to, you know, do I have this expectation that people? Now here I am. I was about to start something new, and I'm still in the middle of the previous task. That's okay. I set this up to be on the computer, but I don't have. I guess while I have physical energy, I'm doing physical work instead of sitting at the computer. RARTSY.com is how to keep in touch with me. And human is some, HUMANISSOME. So it spells out human is some, SOME, is, is RARTSY, artsy.com. Sorry, I got distracted because I can do something here. Why can't I edit this page? Am I not logged in? Oh yeah, something happened and my browser restarted, so I need to log in. Give me a sign. Okay, log in. Now let's go back. Just go to the history. Where was I? Vivaldi, why don't you work right? Edit. Hey, cutie. Oh, so I'm probably not logged into this either. No, I am not. Sign in, 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 sign in. Give me a sign. Oh, yeah, that's not going to work because I copied a JavaScript on click. Yeah, I don't think I can do JavaScript in the blog. Should I try it? Sure. Let's just copy this. But we don't want it to be a button. Oh, yeah, that's true. What do we want it to be? Just a link. But a link that activates a script. Is that normal? Let's find out. Link, open, script, window. Hmm. No. Okay. So what I really, no, that's not what I really want to do. I want to pop up script on click. w3schools.com. Learn how to create pop-ups with CSS and JavaScript. Div span, that really doesn't fit into a into a paragraph, does it? Tooltips are similar to pop-ups. Modals are also similar to pop-ups. Click me to toggle the pop-up. Oh, yeah, I don't like that. Let's try tooltips. Hover over me, tooltip text, but it's not selectable. All right, so let's be less tech. A modal is a dialog pop-up window on top. Yeah, okay. Modals are awesome, are they? Button ID equals my button. Yeah, I didn't really want it to be a button. Hmm. But that has the benefit of being selectable. This is complicated. Um, you know, you could go back to doing it the old way. All right, so why don't we just do this? We'll make a link from reach out to me personally to the email at the bottom of the page. And that needs to be changed anyway. Please reach out to me personally or find me on social media. Oh, I didn't. ID equals email. Reach out to me personally. Huh. There's a problem when you do an internal link on one page, but it's at the bottom and there's not very much below it. It doesn't feel like you're going to the link. It feels like you're going to what's above it. So let's think about that. Reach out to me personally. I mean, another option is to put more stuff below it so that when it internally links, it goes to the part I wanted to. Or, okay, well, the other link works. Um, there's another option. Hooray! I was just editing the About Me page. Hi, I'm Rob. Abstract painting and humanism are my survival strategies. Feeling good, being myself, is my life goal. Nothing that I care about makes money. I scrape by. I do need and appreciate help. Please reach out to me personally at newcontact@artsy.com, Artsy, artsy, or find me on social media. What I love to do includes making visual art, conversations, writing. In 2025, I purchased two domain names to keep long term: artsy, artsy.com, humanism.org. Currently, they both redirect to free space from NeoCities, but that could change in the future. Those addresses will stay the same. As an artist, all my work is personal, but there is some delineation intended in those two site names. I think of artsy.com as personal homepage, artsy.com. I don't know how other people are going to pronounce it. To me, it's just artsy.com or artsy.com. Artsy.com is personal homepage, online business card slash contact landing page, an abstract painting portal. If my art were ever marketed, I'd use artsy.com. Humanism.org is where I develop and share my humanist value system of unconditional love for others, no hatred, and for myself, no shame. Currently, my Humanism project primarily consists of videos. At humanism.org, I embed my live streams and link to videos archived elsewhere. For now, I stream on Twitch and host videos on YouTube, but if that ever changes, humanism.org will remain where to find my project. I hope to grow the Humanism project with more polished videos, writing, and community building. I keep two current blogs: Personal Thoughts at .art.blog/rmiddleton and Humanism Posts at .art.blog/humanism. I post most often at my social media hangout at rmiddleton at mastodon.art. At the moment, my body is in constant pain that's diminishing my ability to think and work. Follow links below for more about me already online. https:// No. For that, you can go to artsy.com. I solved the issue of linking to the email address or doing a pop up or whatever. I just put the address in the text, but I put spaces in, so hopefully computers won't catch it. I did a style dotted underline, so it sort of looks like a link, but it looks different than a link, but people will know to hover over it. And when you hover over it, it says paste into your email and remove spaces. So that is that. This is this. These are those. Them are they. We, they are we. An empty box. Super cute. Wooden. Right. I know. Okay, these are boxes, gift things. What's happening? What is happening? What's happening is you're starting to separate. You're getting confused. Yeah, that is what's happening. Okay. This stream's going to be ending soon, and I'll go and watch the majority report. This happens a lot. Like, why am I emptying this bin? Because I want to use this bin. So what I put in it earlier has got to go. Or at least it has to be looked at. Some of it kept, most of it deleted. Email. Why am I laughing so much? Because Strong Bad is funny. I just saw something and they're gone again. Calm down. I mean, truly, truly a disappearing act. Truly. Oh, here they are. Just retrace your steps, and you'll find them. That's where you'll find me. Yeah, but during the chaos, I mean, this is good. I learned. During the chaos, I learned. What just happened right then is gravity took over, something fell over, something without a lid, and turned upside down. Isn't that fun? But honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was the feeling while it happened that was bad, but the result is not that big of a deal. But I'm still a little perplexed based on it doesn't, I didn't predict that happening because it looks like it should have stayed where I put it. Okay, well, for now, this incomplete job will go over here. And I'll look and see if I have a lid that fits that. But I'm going to quit and switch and watch the majority report. Bye. Have a great day. Love, love, love.